The effects of climate change on fungal diseases.
Introduction. On June 14th, HBO released a new series based on the game The Last of Us, featuring the adventures of Joel and Ellie through a zombie apocalypse. The apocalypse in question was caused by a fungal disease known as cordyceps, which had adapted to warmer and warmer conditions until it was able to infect humans. However, it is unlikely that cordyceps will actually become like this instead of sticking to ants and spiders. Despite this, the show is not entirely fictional.
Climate change. Carbon dioxide emissions and other gases emitted into the atmosphere create a greenhouse effect, trapping atmospheric heat, creating the effect of global warming. In other words, the world is running a fever.
What is a fungus? Fungi, plural of fungus, are a unique organism classification, meaning they aren't an animal, plant, or bacteria, rather their own thing. While animals eat for nutrients and plants make their own food, fungi will grow around their food and excrete enzymes, externally digesting the food and absorbing the nutrients. Fungal diseases are when the fungus decides to grow on a person, multiplying around them and invading the tissue.
Survival of the fittest. In 2016, Harvard ran a study with a massive petri dish and E. coli. The petri dish was sectioned off, the first part of it having no antibiotics, the next having the minimum needed to kill E. coli, then each section having 10 times the amount of the previous. The petri dish quickly grew in the first section, but couldn't grow to the next, until one bacterium gained a random mutation that allowed it to resist the antibiotics, which allowed it to grow into the next section. This process repeated until eventually it grew throughout the entire petri dish. This process of adaptation occurs all throughout nature, not just in petri dishes, whether it be with birds in beak sizes for different sized seeds, or with fungus in warmer temperatures. The blight.
In the 19th century, Ireland entered a great famine of potatoes due to the blight. They had developed a farming technique where potatoes could be cloned from the eye of the potato. This ease of growth allowed for many potatoes to be grown quickly, and the cloning makes the potatoes genetically identical. However, if a fungus is able to infect one potato and every single potato is genetically identical, then the fungus can infect every single potato. Without potatoes, this caused the Irish potato famine, killing nearly 1 million people. The cause of the fungus growing to infect potatoes has to do with the end of a historical mini ice age around this time, which had the fungus develop to the newer, warmer conditions. This concept of crops being infected with climate-changing fungi still stands today in the wake of the newer wave of warmer temperatures.
Climate-related fungal diseases. In France, the agriculture of the north with grapes and wheat is greatly susceptible to fungus. Respectfully, leaf rust, also known as stripe rust, and downy mildew have seasonal surges when the wheat and grapes are at their most susceptible times, more specifically when the weather is warmer. As the world warms, the times of warmer seasons grow longer as the average temperature climbs. This means that the time span in which the crops are susceptible to fungal diseases will continue to increase if the world continues to grow warmer.
Candida auris. In 2009, a fungal disease known as Candida auris spontaneously broke out in 3 different locations across the globe: Venezuela, India, and South Africa. Since then, it has spread to many areas across the globe, such as America, Europe, and Japan. The human body is naturally warm to ward off illness, but it is believed that Candida auris mutated to be able to infect dogs, which were then able to transmit to people as it adapted to be able to resist the warmer temperatures of the human body. Besides Candida auris, the World Health Organization outlines Aspergillus fumigatus and Cryptococcus pneumoformans as critically important fungal pathogens, both of which are also believed to be correlated with climate change.
As the world warms, transposons in soil fungi, like Cryptococcus neoformans, could become more mobile and increase genomic changes in ways that could enhance virulence and drug resistance. One more thing to worry about with global warming.
What does this mean for us, and what can we do? As the Irish potato famine showed us, crop famine is not good for food supplies. If these fungi are to keep adapting to warmer and warmer temperatures, they would eventually be able to infect more and more crops, which in the long run would lead to human extinction.
However, there is good news. There is research in fighting fungal diseases through inhibiting ergosterol. Ergosterol is a sterol, a type of steroid, which strengthens the membranes of the fungal cells.
Azoles are a biological agent which can stop ergosterols, making the membrane of fungal cells weaker, which kills the fungus. However, this research may not be perfect. Just like the bacteria in the petri dish, the fungus may grow to resist the azoles.
One of the most effective ways to prevent fungal infections is to have good hygienic practices. This could be as simple as washing your hands and keeping your room clean, making sure no unwelcome growths present themselves.
Hygienic practices are especially important for immunocompromised individuals in regions of high fungal infection rates, as these practices can provide another layer of defense that their immune system may not be able to.
However, when it comes to crop-based fungal diseases, washing hands won't do the trick. Ultimately, this will come down to reducing the effects of climate change, which relies on all of us. Reducing carbon output can be as simple as carpooling to reduce automobile exhausts, or better yet, biking or walking.
Alternative fuel sources also present themselves as a viable option. Hydroelectric, wind power, and solar energy are 3 possibilities, but some more powerful options could be nuclear energy or biofuels derived from recycling or algal growth.
However we do it, it is vital that climate change is fought. With this, we can create a better world, one without zombie fungi rising from the dead.
The end.